I spent most of my days in our small apartment, surrounded by books, articles, and videos about animals. My fascination with them began when I was a child, and it only grew stronger as I got older. I would sit in front of the computer for hours, reading everything I could find about different species, habitats, and behaviors. My family didn't have much money, so college wasn't an option for me. The idea of studying zoology or animal science at a university was a dream I couldn't afford to dream. The only animal I had was a parrot named Kiwi. He was my best friend, my companion in my lonely world of learning and curiosity. Kiwi would sit on my shoulder as I clicked through pages of information, occasionally chirping as if he understood my fascination. I often imagined myself in the wild, observing animals in their natural habitats, but those were just fantasies, something I would never get to do in real life, or so I thought. One evening, I was browsing the internet as usual, trying to find some new articles about wildlife conservation when I stumbled upon a video about a movie called The Secret. I had heard about it before, but I never paid much attention. The video claimed that the movie could teach you how to change your life by simply changing the way you think. At first, I was skeptical, but something in me urged me to watch it. Maybe it was the feeling of desperation or the longing for something more than what my life had to offer. I decided to give it a shot. The concept of manifestation intrigued me. The idea that I could attract opportunities and experiences into my life just by focusing on them seemed too good to be true. But the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. I had nothing to lose, so I decided to try it. Every night before bed, I would close my eyes and imagine myself in the wild, surrounded by animals. I pictured myself working with them, learning from them, and making a difference in their lives. I visualized the feeling of excitement and fulfillment that came with doing what I loved. Days turned into weeks, and I kept at it. I imagined myself applying for a job that didn't exist yet, working alongside experts, and gaining hands-on experience with animals. I could see it so clearly in my mind that it felt real. I also started talking to Kiwi about my dreams as if they were already happening. I would say things like, "Kiwi, today I learned about the behavior of elephants." Or, "Kiwi, tomorrow I'm going to work with big cats." It felt silly at first, but over time, it became a part of my routine. One day, as I was scrolling through job postings on an online forum, something caught my eye. There was an applicant resume for a safari apprentice program in Africa. The description was everything I had been dreaming of. Working with a team of conservationists, learning about wildlife up close, and helping with animal rehabilitation and research. My heart raced as I read through the details. It was as if this opportunity had been created just for me. But there was a catch. The application deadline was in 2 days, and I needed to submit a resume, a cover letter, and a recommendation letter. I didn't have much time, but I knew I had to apply. I spent the next 48 hours crafting my resume, writing a heartfelt cover letter, and reaching out to a few people who could vouch for my dedication to learning about animals. I included everything I had done, every book I had read, every article I had studied, every video I had watched. I poured my heart and soul into that application, and when I finally hit the submit button, I felt a sense of accomplishment, regardless of the outcome. The waiting was the hardest part. Every day, I checked my email, hoping for a response. I continued my manifestation practice, visualizing myself getting accepted into the program and preparing for the adventure of a lifetime. I could see myself boarding a plane, arriving in Africa, and stepping into a world I had only dreamed of. Then, one morning, it happened. An email popped up in my inbox with a subject line: Safari Apprentice Program, Application Status. My hands shook as I clicked on it. The first line read, "We are pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted." I couldn't believe it. I reread the email over and over, just to make sure I wasn't imagining things. They wanted me. They saw something in me that I had only recently started to see in myself. I spent the next few weeks in a whirlwind of preparation. I had to get my passport, vaccinations, and gear for the trip. My family was supportive, though they were surprised that I had managed to secure such an opportunity without any formal education. I told them about the secret and how I had been using the principles of manifestation to create this reality. They didn't fully understand, but they were happy for me. The day I left for Africa was one of the most exciting days of my life. I said goodbye to my family in Kiwi, promising him that I would come back with stories of our adventures. As the plane took off, I couldn't help but feel a sense of awe at how far I had come. Just a few months ago, I was a kid with a dream and a parrot, and now I was on my way to make that dream a reality. When I arrived at the safari camp, it was everything I had imagined and more. The sights, the sounds, the smells, it was all so vivid and alive. I met my team, a group of passionate conservationists who welcomed me with open arms. They didn't care about my lack of formal education. They cared about my enthusiasm and willingness to learn. They saw the potential in me that I had only begun to see in myself. The work was challenging, but it was exactly what I had dreamed of. We tracked animals, studied their behaviors, and worked on conservation projects. Every day was a new adventure, a new lesson in the complexities of the natural world. I learned more in those first few weeks than I had in years of self-study. I felt like I had found my purpose, my place in the world. One day, while we were out in the field, I had a moment of clarity. We were observing a group of elephants, and I was struck by their grace and intelligence. It hit me that I was living the life I had always dreamed of, the life I had manifested through my thoughts and beliefs. I had created this reality, and it was even better than I had imagined. As the weeks turned into months, I grew more confident in my abilities. I learned how to track animals, administer medical care, and contribute to research efforts. I also developed a deeper understanding of the importance of conservation and the role we all play in protecting the natural world. The experience changed me in ways I could never have anticipated. But it wasn't just the work that was fulfilling. It was the people I met along the way. My team became like a second family to me. We shared stories, laughed, and supported each other through the challenges we faced. I learned so much from them, not just about animals, but about life. They taught me the value of perseverance, dedication, and the power of belief. Looking back, I realized that everything I had been through, the struggles, the doubts, the endless hours of self-study, had led me to this moment. I had manifested my dream life, not just by wishing for it, but by taking action and believing that it was possible. The secret had opened my eyes to the power of my thoughts, but it was my determination and passion that made it a reality. As my apprenticeship came to an end, I was offered a permanent position with the team. They wanted me to stay on and continue working with them, and I couldn't have been happier. I had found my calling, and I knew that this was just the beginning of a lifelong journey in conservation. One evening, as I sat by the campfire with my team, I thought about how far I had come. From a kid with a parrot in a small apartment to a wildlife conservationist in Africa, my journey had been nothing short of extraordinary. And it all started with a dream, a belief, and the willingness to take a chance on myself. Kiwi was right there with me in spirit, and I knew that when I returned home, I would have so many stories to share with him. My family was proud of me, and I knew that I had made them proud. I had proven to myself that anything is possible when you believe in yourself and your dreams. The world was full of opportunities, and I was ready to embrace them all.